Welcome back and happy Election Day, everybody. Thanks again for being with us. And looks like we got a little special guest back here. The wasp enjoying the view of downtown Austin.
They've set up a nest up there.
It is a great one. So, I mean, I get why they would be up there. But we also want to point out some of the hottest November temperatures on record could arrive later this week. And KXAN Chief Meteorologist Nick Bannin is here to put that heat into a bit of perspective.
So you can almost count on one hand the number of times that we have had highs in the 90s in the month of November. It's not quite 5, it's 6. So one hand and a bit. And we're going to be very dangerously close to 90s here later on this week. We'll be up to 86 here Thursday. We think Friday's going to be the hottest day of the week at 89. That would tie the record high for the day. And then that Saturday 88 is going to be very close as well before a very strong cold front comes through, knocks us into the 70s and eventually 60s. Let's look at Austin's hottest November days, or at least the years that those days have happened. So we have had highs of 91 degrees in 2016, 2006, 1951, and 1947 in the month of November. We've hit 90 degrees twice in 2013 and then in November of 1951. And then we've hit 89 for the high on 4 different occasions. Last year we did it, 2007, and then in 1988 we did it twice in that November. And if our forecast comes to fruition and we get to 89 on Friday, then we will be able to add this year to that list of hottest November days on record. Let's talk about the latest final 90-degree days of the year, because only one time have they actually happened beyond the month of November, and that was December 25th of 1955. All of our other final 90s of the year have come in the month of November. And in fact, if you take away this one, we've never had any other 90-degree days beyond November 17th. And of course, we're getting close to that. On KXAN.com right now, our own Christopher Adams, our digital data reporter and graphics guru at that, he's analyzed all of the November weather data along the Austin extremes and weather data for the whole year. If you're interested, just go into Weather and Traffic tab and then scroll down to Explore 2025 Austin weather data. And he's got it for you all there. All right, we're not that close just yet to the record heat. That would be Friday. Instead, we've got rather pleasant heat across much of Texas now. Upper 70s for us. There's a lot of 80s, though, showing up, and even some spots like Lubbock right now at 87, warmer than we are. So we'll enjoy our upper 70s for a little while longer. Dropping into the 60s here by 8 o'clock here this evening, and then those 60s turn into 50s by daybreak. In fact, I think we'll be several degrees warmer tomorrow morning than we were this morning. More of us in the 50s, not many 40s at all. By midday tomorrow, upper 70s and low 80s, and then highs tomorrow afternoon in the mid 80s. So we're thinking today's high will probably come in around 80 or 81. So we'll add another 4 degrees for the high tomorrow. And then we go into your Thursday, starting in the 50s again, although slightly higher in the 50s. Already at 80 by midday, we think mid 80s again Thursday afternoon. In fact, Thursday may be slightly hotter than tomorrow. On clouds and radar, there is not going to be a whole lot to see. We'll fast forward our future clouds and radar and pause it very rarely because it's just going to be sunshine here tomorrow. There may be some brief patches of low clouds or fog early tomorrow morning for about an hour, and then it's gone. I do think we've got a higher opportunity for some fog and low clouds Thursday morning, but even that should be gone by 9, and then it's back to full sunshine again, so no shortage of sun on the way. Most of tonight completely clear until some of those patches of low clouds arrive by daybreak. Overnight lows of 54. And then your Wednesday tomorrow, 85 and sun, a south breeze 5 to 15 miles per hour. So let's dive into those temperatures then for the heat and then the cooling. 86 Thursday, 89 Friday, 88 Saturday. Then our cold front comes in late Saturday night, knocks us down to 72 on Sunday. But it keeps getting cooler after Sunday. Look at Monday's highs, only in the 60s. In fact, there could be some low 60s, even some spots in Milam County that don't get out of the 50s during the day on Monday. Coldest morning looks to be next Tuesday. That's the 11th. And you can see most areas outside of Austin starting the morning in the 30s. This would be our new coldest morning of the season. Here's a look at our first warning weather 7-day forecast. Unfortunately, no hope for rain, just sunshine. That cold front is going to bring a blustery, dry wind on Sunday that will elevate the fire risk. Then we'll drop down into the 60s Monday, 70s on Tuesday. Don't forget our KXAN Friendsgiving Challenge continues, and look at the right-hand side of your screen. The morning team has a big lead over the evening team. They've almost raised $7,500 already, and we have raised a little more than $2,000. Of course, all of this goes to the Central Texas Food Bank. So we really need your help. The food bank needs your help. KXAN.com/Friendsgiving, or you can scan the QR code on your screen there, and make sure when you get to that link, you click on Evening Team. We could use every dollar we could get, Will.
I'm going to say it's still a little early in the contest, so don't give up on Team Evening just yet.